like to start with it was very interesting to learn what Caligo Tech is doing, and we are in a very similar space. 7sense, we are doing machine learning and AI on power constrained, low compute devices, and we are actually funded. Like the level of support that we get from the Singapore government, we are actually funded by the Ministry of Defense in Singapore. They have a statutory board called Capvista, which is an investor in our company. So, in terms of the funding available for entrepreneurs in Singapore, it is quite interesting that it starts right from the student level to seed stage to growth stage to even and that is, I think, something that I have not seen. Like in India, you hear about the big success stories of funding are from like DFJ or Sequoia or Tencent or Alibaba. Like even my first startup, 10Cube, was actually funded by 197, which you all know is the company behind Paytm, and of course they are funded by Tencent. So, what is the state of capital that is available to startups? I mean, that is a very and in terms of being Atmanirbhar, like where does that capital come from? Does it come from outside India? Does it come from within India? So those are some of the things in terms of even for loans and MSMEs, if they're taking loans, as I mentioned, if they are collateral based, then there are like some very interesting things that the Singapore government is also doing in terms of as I mentioned earlier, providing a convertible note. So this is debt, but it has only like maybe 10% interest. And when a successive round of investment takes place, that debt can convert to equity for the new investor. So the government gets some return on investment, plus that whole debt becomes equity. So that is something that I would like to kind of highlight over here. Apart from that, I can share from my experiences of setting up a development center in India for my first startup, 10Cube, which was subsequently acquired by McAfee, which was subsequently acquired by Intel. So we started off setting up a center in Noida and hiring like 15 people out of there. And this was back in 2008 or so. And I think the biggest challenges that we faced were like, finding the appropriate office space. Of course, now everything has changed with co-location spaces readily available and things like that. So to sum it up, I think, like the high level impetus by the government is great, but at the same time, like how do you nurture entrepreneurship from grassroots levels, right? I mean, and we are talking about high tech entrepreneurship, not India has a high entrepreneurship index because like you have everyone selling things from thelawalas to small shops and all that. But how do you foster this high tech entrepreneurship where you have like growth trajectories that are non-organic? Indian companies have been known for organic growth that have gone from like over a decade, 2 decades of growth, and now they are big companies. But how do you jumpstart companies to go on trajectories that are the trajectories of the likes of Facebook, the trajectories of the likes of Google, the trajectories of the likes of Alibaba? And if you look at like the big unicorns in India, where is their funding coming from? Their funding, most of it is not coming from within India. It's coming from outside India. So when it comes to Atmanirbharta, I think there are quite a few things. Even in terms of like yesterday I was watching like NDTV and they were talking about boycotting Chinese goods and all that. But how is that even feasible? Like from an economical standpoint, there is so much interdependence with other countries. So while it is a noble idea, I feel that the real challenges from a high tech entrepreneurship perspective which is basically fundamentally the lack of internal funding, the lack of supportive ecosystems, the lack of government involvement in the process. So, for example, our startup is funded by the Ministry of Defense, and we are working with various organizations with the Singapore
Varun,
government. So
that
the
would be
government,
Ministry of Defense of Singapore, right? Not India.
yes, Singapore. Yeah. So obviously, I mean, that's what I'm trying to highlight, that there are mechanisms that the Singapore government has adopted for startups to engage with the government and the government to engage with startups. And those are the mechanisms that I feel like, starting from putting the idea of entrepreneurship in a student's head to promoting his journey all the way to an exit, that make Singapore a country worth looking at when it comes to self-supporting ecosystems.
So thank you, Varun.